I have a new coaching program. It's a 12-week program for women. I am an alignment coach, which means that I take working women who are usually pretty driven and successful, and I help them because they've gotten to a point where they might feel burned out, they feel fatigue, insomnia, and anxiety, they're not sleeping anymore. And that kind of stress and that kind of effects, it trickles out into the other areas of their lives, and they've kind of gotten to a point where they're like, I can't do this anymore. And they're looking for something greater, but they're looking for something to help them become, as I say, in alignment or whole within their mind, their body, and their spirit. And so the way that I work with them is we take 12 weeks and we move through my program called Whole is the Goal, because that's really it. You know, in medicine, people will look at just the mind. There's areas of medicine that look at just the mind. There's areas of medicine that look at just the body. And I really think that we're all three. So this program, Whole is the Goal, is really meant to help women discover that their minds operate like a computer, and that we have all these like programs running underneath them that cause us to have thoughts and emotions that turn into beliefs and patterns of behavior that may serve them or may not. So we take a look at those, we deconstruct them, and we kind of reprogram their brain and their body with new behaviors and new patterns to help them really, truly, as I said before, come into alignment. Because when you're aligned, you feel centered, you feel conscious and connected. And those are the 3 C's of my program. I help women become centered, conscious, and connected. I've been through similar programs, and my approach is different. It's an amalgam of different approaches that is unique to only to me, and the different things that I bring into the sessions for my clients that really allow them to trust me, to connect with me, and for them to show up for themselves and leave feeling confident that they are accomplishing things. They have tangible evidence of what they're doing and how those changes are showing up in their lives. I have that gift of intuition or discernment. So another name for that is psychic mediumship. And I specialize in body mediumship, which means your body will talk to me. It'll tell me what's going well, what needs improvement, and how we can make those changes. So that intuition, along with the structure of the coaching program, I follow the intuition and I feel into the energy. Everything is made up of energy, plain and simple. And where I would say that I excel is being able to listen, tune into, and feel that energy and adjust accordingly to serve my client. So I'm a lover of learning. I actually have degrees from UCSD in neuropsychology and 4 other areas of specialty. So literally I spent 5 years studying the brain because I love it. I spent 10 years in the pharmaceutical industry in CNS. So I actually have quite a bit of knowledge when it comes to antidepressants and therapies that deal with anxiety. In the spiritual realm of things, I have also spent 20 years delving into different spiritual practices and finding the commonalities that I felt really worked for me, but they're also working for my clients. So we know that it is absolutely reproducible for you if you're experiencing burnout, fatigue, anxiety, and insomnia. So I like to view the mind, or the brain, right? The brain is the organ, the mind is like the programs that the brain runs. It's like a computer, and every computer comes with software. Well, over time, right, you add all these apps, and the app would be motherhood, job, mortgage payments, all the things. I think of each of those things as an app, right? Starts draining the battery really quickly. So unless you start giving parameters of when these apps can function and how they need to function, they're just going to drain the heck out of the battery, and then your phone's not functional, and then you're a frustrated, hot mess because you can't get things done that you needed to do. So I help people understand, first and foremost, they're not their thoughts. The thoughts are a function of the brain or the mind. So we create some space with the identification of that. Once we create that, so when a thought arises that either makes them uncomfortable or creates what we might say is like dissonance or anxiety or just like tension, we teach them how to observe it, One of my clients uses a movie screen. She observes her thoughts on a movie screen. And the whole point is to create distance between the two of you. And what that allows you to do is then use the teachable techniques of the breath and self-regulation in order to come into alignment and overcome the anxiety or the troubling thought or situation that's in front of you. It's a different way of living your life. My clients keep having aha moments after aha moments, and just to see this expansion for them, I know that it's possible for other people. I know because I've been through it. So the goal, whole is the goal, to feel wholly yourself, which means to show up as yourself and have compassion and grace for however that is. Are you gonna have a bad day? Sure, we all have bad days, we all have crappy moments, and it's learning to be okay with those and how to move with them and through them, and then also taking time to acknowledge when you're doing really well, because oftentimes high achievers will just push aside their win or their success and be so driven that they move on to the next thing. So one of the things we really work on is helping people to know that it's okay to feel a sense of pride and compassion for themselves and how far they've come with the work that they're doing. Probably truly working moms, because I am one and I experienced all of those things: fatigue, burnout, insomnia, and anxiety. And I've tried all kinds of remedies, everything. And moms, we wear so many hats. And if you are a working mom or a stay-at-home mom, that's a job. You are working, okay? So whether the workplace is in your house or the workplace is out, if you are a working mom and you have all these things on your plate, it can become quite stressful. And it can become so stressful that you end up not sleeping and being tired all the time and burned out. So we see a massive reduction in anxiety, and my clients will end up saying, oh my gosh, I can breathe again. That's one of the biggest symptoms of anxiety, is that my clients tell me they feel like they can't breathe. Or they're always trying to catch their breath, and they never feel like they can really take a nice full breath. Because what happens when you take a nice full breath? You calm the F down. You gotta calm down. And so I actually teach people, as funny as it sounds, I teach people how to breathe properly. And most people never learn this. I had to learn this over a decade ago, and it's stuck with me. So clients end up becoming, you see that their anxiety decreases by quite a bit because they're learning techniques on how to be with the uncomfortable moment and then regulate their body and their mind so that then they can take an action or behavior that allows them to feel empowered. And then they're the king of their anxiety, or they don't have the anxiety anymore because they've worked through it. Well, I can tell you that I've got clients that are at the 4-week mark and 6-week mark in this recent part, and I have one in the 8-week mark. And all of them, I have one client in particular that said her sleep started out at 0. She's like, maybe a 1 if I'm being generous. And within 2 weeks, she started sleeping through the night again. And she said it's been over 18 months since that had happened for her. And so to wake up naturally on her own and not wake up in this state of panic, and then the mind is racing and then you can't go back to sleep, which is super freaking frustrating, as if you need every ounce of sleep you can get. So you can expect to see symptoms like that resolve as you move into alignment with the mind and the body and the spirit. That's just one of the ways, but it's a pretty significant way. You want to spend, allegedly, a third of your life sleeping. First of all, let me say I'm a fan of therapy. I've experienced it and done it myself multiple times, and I'm a fan of it. And just like with anything, there are great therapists, there are okay therapists, there's therapists that need some improvement. So that was the disclaimer. What one of my clients recently said is that when we checked in with her body and her progress, she felt like her current 4 weeks of working with me, her body said that it would produce a year of therapy. And I've had other clients say the same sort of thing. They've been to therapists multiple times, and the amount of growth that they're experiencing in 4 weeks, in 6 weeks, every time I'm on a call, literally my clients see me doing this and being animated because I am so freaking excited for them at the changes they're making. I'm constantly telling my clients, I am so proud of you because they're putting in the work and I am proud of them. One of my mottos is, I'm not here to save you, I'm here to stand by your side as you save yourself. Because I can give them all of the tools. They have to do the work. And with this system, this program, Whole is the Goal, they're doing the work and the results are mind-blowing. So you can find me on the Instagram. You can find me on the interwebs. Instagram is marisa.wilke, and that's marisa.wilke. On Instagram, you can find me Marisa Wilke on Facebook as well. You can join my private group where I do these card readings and card pulls surprise, but there's also a scheduled one every single month, along with little tips of wisdom. And that is Mystical Moments with Marisa the Medium, because I love me some alliteration. Thank you, 7th grade poetry. So it's Mystical Moments with Marisa the Medium. You can find me at the website, wellbalancedhealingarts.com, wellbalanced with a D, healingarts.com. And let me think, is there any other way? You could just send me the vibes, because people in my life, even people I haven't talked to forever, they'll pop into what I call my awareness, and I'll shoot them a text or a phone call, and they go, how'd you know? I'm like, because I was feeling the vibes. So send me the vibes, that's fine too.